can we make things better for this next year? I think it's really important to.
Did you just equate being in a relationship to running a business?
Yes, you did.
It's similar.
Okay, all right.
I mean, they're in a relationship. There's a return on investment, right? And it might not be a financial gain, but there's still emotional and spiritual and physical aspects of that you really want. And if you're not getting those returns on investment, like, is it a relationship or is it just you said it already, like the 50-50 give and take. Yep. If there's not a 50-50 give and take, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a dictatorship.
Okay. So you said 4 years. You're going on 4 years. That would put Ty at 22 and Brett at 24 when you guys got together, give or take.
Right.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So is this? So you're both a little bit on the younger side. Not that you were young
coming
when
from the 80-year-old that's talking to you.
Well,
right
I mean,
now.
I'm almost 40.
The silver fox in the room.
I'm a couple years away from regular prostate exams. So let's it just is this one of the longer relationships?
This is my longest relationship. Yeah.
Okay, Ty.
Oh
Same?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So what's one of the, if you're comfortable talking, if not, we can move on. What's one of the biggest things over the last 4 years that you two have had to like really get like work on? Like, if you had to pick one thing that was like, this could make or break the relationship.
Mine's the communication.
Okay.
Yeah, that did pose quite an issue. I don't know. I think for a while there, I had a really big problem with alcohol. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, when we first started dating.
Yeah. So that was bad. But that was also like the scene that I was in prior to us meeting. Like, we met at the karaoke bar, but that bar was also like 2 houses behind the house I lived at.
Okay.
So I went there every single night. Like, I was a regular there, which is why I knew he didn't belong there.
Like, who's this tall dreadlock having piece of shit?
This is pre-dreadlock. This is pre-dreadlock too.
Yeah, pre-dreads, pre-drinking. He didn't even drink.
I didn't drink at that time.
Man. So you corrupted him.
Well, God, yeah,
you
a little
gave him his first
bit,
taste
I
of
guess.
alcohol, and started growing the hair out, and then the rest is history.
I think that we could not call it corrupt, and we could say introduced him to a part of himself he didn't know beforehand.
Well,
all right, fine. If you want to be, PC about it, fucking snowflake, whatever.
Just because you're unique as fuck doesn't give you any.
Don't be one of those people that say snowflake, Eric. Don't go call people snowflake.
I didn't say it seriously. Like, I started laughing immediately after I said it.
Is this actually an insult?
Dude, that's an insult on the internet. That's like the Republicans' dream insult.
Yeah. Which is silly because snowflakes are individual and none of them, they say no two are the same, and then they use that term to blanket an entire
and they taste good.
Type of people. They do taste good. That's true. It's been a while.
I think it really depends on the quality of the water at the time, right?
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to eat the first snow.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Or yellow snow. You don't
or
want
yellow.
To eat yellow snow. That's not a good one either.
Nice. So I'm gonna turn the spotlight on Brett Haney.
Okay, let's hear it. Lay it on me.
How long have you been doing comedy?
So comedy, I started comedy in high school. Okay. That's what I wanted to be, was a stand-up comic, and it was dope. My theater teacher my senior year did a whole semester on stand-up comedy. It was really neat. So that was 2010, and I was living in Nampa, and the only 2 mics were Liquid and Crescent just started. And I'd come out to Boise a time or 2, but they were like really strict. I think Oleg was like hosting at the time, and I showed up once at 7:03 and didn't make the list. And for me at the time, I'm a 21. I think I was doing some Jack Turnage type stuff where I was coming in underage, but
now,
it was still a trek.
For the record, we're not letting underage people just hang out.
Oh, at the bar, yeah.
What we do is we have you hang out like in the hallway or in the back, and then you get on stage when it's your time, and then you leave immediately. Right. So we don't have minors just hanging around,
which is a really really great thing for. Like, if you're that young and you're wanting to get involved, like, it's amazing that opportunity is available to younger people.
Yeah, it was super awesome. And then so I'd come out to Boise a few times and got cut a few times. And to me, I was like, I can't afford
with just a regular knife, or
yeah, that too.
Just kidding.
Too.
Just kidding.
Damn. I was from the 2C though, so I could handle myself.
Fair. Shit.
But so I got discouraged a little bit because I'd show up to Boise and it was like a trek. You know, I was young, didn't have a lot of money, so I ended up stopped going to comedy for like a long time. And then when Ty and I started dating again, these past few years, this was when I was like, yeah, I used to try to do this. You want to go? And we went. And now I've been doing it since. So it's been like, 2 years, a year and a half, something like that.
Nice. Well, you've definitely come a long way from when I first started seeing you come around to now.
Yeah, when I restarted, it was 2 BFPs ago. Yeah, and you were hosting.
Yeah, I was the open mic host, and you've definitely improved over the last couple of years to where I'm like, oh shit, he's funny.
Yeah, it was
he's
exciting.
Funny on stage like he is in real life now. That's okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was exciting. I got my first hosting gig a few weeks ago.
That was it Keith?
No, if it's for Tyler Bowe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a host for Tyler Bowe and
totally
Chris Johnson.
Yeah, they were hilarious. You were hilarious.
Oh yeah, it was a good time,
dude. You're fucking. What is it? Bud gravy.
Oh me and LJ workshopped this joke about THC gravy. I was like, Thanksgiving, I was supposed to bring the gravy. Found out days before they have THC gravy. I'm like, it's poor pass, Grandma.
Quit Bogarting.
Quit Bogarting the gravy boat. Yeah, people freaking loved it.
Dude, it was hilarious. Man, I love that. It's poor pass. Ty.
Yes.
Have you wanted to be in the medical field for a long time, or is it something that you've recently decided?
No, this is where things get dicey as far as like my future is concerned. Like I don't like working at all, like at all. If I could be like a stay-at-home artist, or if Brett gets his dream of having a organic nursery thing, then I can work for him. I wouldn't mind doing that. But yeah, I hate spending time away from my family or stuff that I enjoy doing. The medical thing is because I do enjoy helping people. I just, I need a job that's going to pay me enough to pay for my diagnosis, really.
Right.
And I've always enjoyed biology, so might as well.
Okay. Cool.
So then Brett, what made you, like, what is it about plants? Like, is it just like the particular kind of plant, or is it that you've just got a green thumb and you want to explore that?
So after I decided to not do comedy and couldn't be a professional hockey player, the next thing I was like, well, I got to think of what can I do long term, pretty much. And I worked at Zamzo's a little bit, and people were bringing in lawn samples and all this stuff, and I just really kind of got turned on to this new world of plants that I didn't really. It's not something in which is just fascinating to me. It's not something that you really learn a lot about in school.
Right.
I don't think. I think you cover maybe botany a little bit about the plant cells, but then they're like, I saw a Facebook meme thing. It's crazy. Kids can recognize 10 logos to businesses and restaurants or whatever, but they can't identify 10 plants.
That's fair. I can't identify 10 plants.
And so I really just got fascinated by the world of plants, and that would be my passion, I would say, behind I really got into a big food kick for a while. I was eating really healthy, and so my plan was to just grow organic foods. And now my long-term goal is to have a CSA, which is community-supported agriculture.
Okay.
And so, like, in a nutshell, you would pay me $500 at the beginning of the season, and for 15 weeks, I would bring you a box of produce every day, like whatever's in season on the farm. So it's kind of food to table.
A weekly thing? Or?
Yeah, weekly. So 15 weeks throughout the whole, spring to summer growing season. I'd bring you. I mean, and I went to this conference last year for my work, And there's like this CSA farm in Washington. It's like 300 acres, but they do everything. So you can go online and plan your boxes, what you want them to like. So if you want more potatoes than normal or something like that, you can add potatoes. They do cut flowers, so you can order bouquets with your boxes. But yeah, so you pay it up front, and then each week for a X amount of period time, usually 15 to 20 weeks, you get your food delivered to you. Or you go to sometimes certain places they have pickup areas, so you just go and pick it up.
That seems like a good deal. $500 for half a year's
worth
of
and it's like all your
food.
Produce, and it's coming from local, and you're supporting farms, and it's all
nice,
full circle kind of thing. So yeah, it's really dope.
It would be more for like sustainability, right? Not so much a profit.
Well, both. I want to be able to, just be full sustainable and do all that. But my goal, like, as a person, I think, is to give people organic, healthy options of food. Mm-hmm. So, not necessarily a profit, but unfortunately, things cost money. Fertilizer is going to cost money. It's going to cost money to buy the seeds, the time to do all that, to plan, because you'd have to plan. Say I have 15 people that each want a box, and now I have to farm for 15 families, and they're expecting me each week to have something ready for them.
Right.
So that means I have to do, timelines. I have to, it's just this whole thing. So, it's not definitely just for a profit. I mean, obviously, I'd have to make a profit as a business.
Right. And you definitely should be compensated for that, too.
But, for a business motto, how businesses have their motto, mine would be something along the lines of providing people healthy alternative, organic food. I'm a huge non-Monsanto person. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I always just call him a guy, even though I know it's a company, but I'm just like, fuck that person.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
But
piece of shit.
So that's a long-term goal.
And do you know much about the bees?
Oh yeah.
So
what about the birds? Do you know about the birds and the bees? Have you ever had that conversation?
Not that specific conversation. I don't know how that works, Eric. You're a dad now.
I am a dad now.
You can explain it to me.
Yeah, test run on Brett Haney. What's your son? He's like 6?
He's 5. So essentially what I would tell him is what I'm going to tell you. Just don't. Just don't at all. And if you're gonna, don't. Just don't.
Just run the other direction.
Just play with your Pokemon cards and maintain your innocence for as long as possible. Because it's hard out there.
That's the worst birds and the bees talk ever. But I like it. That might have been more effective than the ones I
mean, they've been together 4 years, so they've obviously got it figured out somehow. They don't need my help at this point.
Interesting.
Failed marriage. They don't need my help. They don't need any advice from me. That's for sure. So horticulture. So do you just and forgive my ignorance, I haven't been in a classroom in a very long time. Do you just show up and go to a greenhouse, or what is it? Do you?
Yeah. So
how does that work?
I go through CWI, and that campus. So CWI has 2 campuses, and then they have this secret third horticulture campus, which is up at the old Penn.
Okay.
And up by Table Rock and stuff. And so if you're ever hiking up there and you see those 2 giant greenhouses, that's where I go to school. Pretty much. Okay. Our classes are held in the guardhouse down there and stuff. So it's dope. This coming semester, I'm taking a soils class, integrated pest management. So it's going to cover funguses and weeds and different insects. And I think the third class I'm taking is World Foods, which is just a world food agriculture type class, I guess. I'm not too sure what that one's going to be about. I'm excited. Just stuff like that. So classes of the past, I took an urban agriculture class.
Did you say urban?
Urban.
Yeah, urban.
Planting stuff in cities.
Yeah, in the city, you're having a edible landscape at your house, or planting gardens in the backyard and stuff like that.
Do you do anything involving like sciencey kind of like splicing two different types of plants
Yeah,
together
so
to make like a new kind of a thing? Like, is that something, or is that just a thing from movies?
No, that's
like
it's grafting.
There's graft.